How's it going, neighbors? This is Ed here with etrailer.com, and today we're going to take a look at the Caliber Bunk Wrap System for your bunk boards. Now, this is going to be a really great way to upgrade your trailer with just your drill and a little bit of time. So let's take a closer look and see what's special about it. In your box, you're going to receive 24 feet of the bunk wrap itself. Now, this material is heavy duty, and it actually has built-in lubrication, so it's going to allow for your bolt hull to slide up super easy. Now, if you have a painted aluminum, gel coat, or fiberglass bolt, this isn't recommended. It may not, it's not recommended for those surfaces, but everyone else, you'll be good to go. You're going to receive per pack, you're going to get 4 end caps right here that drill right into the end of your 2x4, and then the material itself is actually made to wrap around. Now, with this particular setup, we changed out all the carpet and all the bunk boards. However, if you're using your existing boards, you can just go ahead and rip off that carpet and wrap it around. Now, in the install guide, it says that you can install this without removing your bunk boards. I don't know how someone could with this, the way the bracket rests right on the wraparound portion. So I would suggest to just go ahead and pop those guys off, get you some fresh hardware along with the freshly wrapped boards. Now, the cool thing about this material itself is the fact that it does come already set up to go around your 2x4 and wrap around. You're going to have enough screws to hold it into place, but I found it just looks a little bit cleaner to put additional screws in between underneath just to make sure it doesn't hang down. Now, the material itself is going to give you a lot of benefits. One is going to be the fact that it's not like the carpet where stuff can grow and live on it and transport, and this is going to help minimize transferring invasive species from one body of water to another. Out the box, you're going to get T20 screws, but you may need to add additional hardware. As long as it's rust resistant, you should be good to go. My observation installing the bunk wrap system on these bunk boards was that it really wasn't difficult. It was just a lot of steps. As you can see, there's a lot of screws that you have to drive, and it just, your boards, and you have to remove your lag screws. So it is a lot to it. So just want to make sure you give yourself enough time, or maybe have a second set of hands to help get that done a little quicker. Now, I understand that there's some people that just wouldn't want to deal with this, or just maybe not be able to. And if that's the case, you can take a look at our dealer network and find someone close to you that's going to be able to get this knocked out for you. Now, for all my DIYers, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you what to do to drive all these screws. What you're going to need to complete the installation that's not included, you're going to need a driver for your fasteners to go into your bunk boards and the appropriate screws or lag screws, a pencil, speed square. You're going to need a blade of some sort and a tape measure. If you have all these items, you're good to go. Now, with ours, usually you're going to be able to keep the boards, but these guys have been through it, so we're just going to switch it out. So you're definitely going to also need to make sure that your replacement boards are cut to size. Ideally, if you have a friend to help you with this process, it makes it go a lot easier. I have Matt here that's going to pull it to the other side. It is coiled up, so you may need to relax. So alternatively, you can sit it out in the sun and you'll be able to get it stretched out. So from here, what we're going to do, we're going to measure up to 1/16 of an inch less than what my distance is, and then we'll go ahead and make our indentation. So from here, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to make my mark right where that measurement is. Because the material coils up so much, I'm just going to kind of give myself a space, and then now that I've done that, I'm going to use my speed square to actually score it across, and that'll allow it to give me a nice clean snap when I bend it back 90 degrees. Now that you trimmed your bunk wrap, you're probably tempted to go ahead and install it. Hold up, wait a second. Got to do the end caps first. You have an included T20 bit that you're going to use 2 of the 60 screws that you have for your end caps. And this guy just slides on the end of your board, just like this. And then we're going to install our screw. And now you want to make sure that with your end caps that they are facing the same direction on the board. So now we're going to move to this next step of putting the board on top of the wrap. So I have my bunk wrap laid out and my bunk board is sitting here on top. So now I'm just going to start guiding it around the board. And you're going to use your included hook and loop strap to kind of hold everything in place while you go down the board. We're going to measure 6 inches out right here. And now we're gonna drive our fasteners in. Now this hook and loop strap is gonna help keep everything nice and retained. And then from here, we're going 12 inches out from every screw. All right, so let's slide this guy down. And we're gonna measure out 12 inches. And now we're almost home. So we're gonna take our bunk board and put it back onto our trailer, making sure that our bunk wrap is underneath. I'm just gonna let it drop down right here while I just make sure I'm aligned and everything is where it should be. And now I'm gonna grab my lag screws and we'll get this installed onto the trailer. All right, now that I have a second set of hands holding up the other end of my board, I'm gonna drive in my fasteners. I'm just gonna do the same, going all the way down. And then you're just gonna follow these same steps for all the boards that you're replacing. Now that we've installed our bunk wrap on all of our boards, I've been through the whole steps in the processing. It's not really that bad. It just takes a lot of time. And if you have extra help, it always makes it go quicker. Now, going with the measurement standard as far as how the spacing is with the screws, I went back and added additional screws underneath that weren't included in the kit, just to give it a nicer look. It kind of hangs down underneath otherwise. Now, as far as the way that you set it up, I would love to see how your bunk boards look. So go ahead and add a photo below. And for everyone else that are just looking towards the product to get an idea, feel free to look at us if you have any questions or you need help with that install. So again, this is Ed with etrailer.com taking a look at the Caliber bunk wraps. Have a great day.